In this video, we will revise operating system gate questions. So, which of the following is the functions of operating system? So, what are the functions of the operating system? So, these all the options are correct because sharing hardware among users and allowing users to share data among themselves, recovering from errors, preventing users from interfering with one another, scheduling resources among users. So, next question: which of the following instructions is are privileged? So, set value of timer, read the clock, clear the memory, or remove a process from the memory. None of the above. So, set value of timer. So it is a privileged instruction. So here you can see the solution here. The instructions that can run only in kernel mode are called privileged instructions. Usually instruction which modify the hardware are privileged instruction. Set value of timer. In this we can actually modify in the timer. Next option is read the clock. So read the clock nothing but we are not modifying anything. So it is not a privileged instruction. Clear the memory or remove a process from the memory. So here we are modifying the something here. So it is a privileged instruction. Which of the following instructions is are privileged? So generate any trap instruction, turn off all interrupts, modify entries in device status table. In first option, generate any trap instruction. Generally, traps instructions were generated by the user, but not the hardware. So it is not a privileged instruction. Turn off all interrupts. Hardware can interrupt the turn off all the interrupts. So it is a privileged instruction. Modify entries in device status table. So modify is nothing but the privileged instructions. Which of the following instructions is a privileged instructions? Set the system clock, read the system clock, clear locations in virtual memory. So here set the system clock. Here we are modifying in this instructions means it is a privileged one. Read the system clock. Here we are not modifying anything. So it is not a privileged one. Clear locations in the virtual memory. Generally we virtual memory whenever we are clearing the locations, it is done actually by the user, not the hardware or the operating system. So clear locations in virtual memory is unprivileged instructions because it is not harm any other program and it is done by the user. Which of the following instructions is are privileged instructions? So instructions related to accessing IO or devices, it is a privileged one. Switch user to kernel mode, switch from kernel to user mode. These are all the privileged instructions. Which of the following is a privileged one? Send a character to a printer, reading the status of a processor, write a value into the interrupt vector. So here A and C are the privileged instructions. Reading the status means here we are nothing modifying anything. In A and C options we are modifying something. So it is a privileged instructions. Why separate user mode and kernel mode? So to prevent user applications from executing the protected instructions. So this is why we separate the user mode and kernel mode. Which of the following statements is are true when the kernel switches execution from the current process to another process? So if you see here, the kernel must save the register value, including IP, instruction pointer, stack pointer of the current process to the memory. And also the kernel must take the page table of the next process active. So here B and C options are the incorrect. Next question, which of the following statement is a true about the processor? Any process can access any other process memory by default. This is the false statements. Timer interrupts are generally required for a kernel to correctly isolate process. So it is a correct statement. The kernel must run one process to complete before it starts another process. It is a false statement. Parallelly can also occur. A user level process can crash the kernel if not programmed carefully. It is also a false statement. Which of the following does not happen when an interrupt occurs? So the process reset the automatic timer to a standard value. This thing will not happen when an interrupt occurs. So the process switches to privileged mode. The processor register are saved so that can be restored later. The process jumps to an address that is found to interrupt vector. An IO bound process spends more time on seeking IO process than doing computational work. 12th one, how did a time sharing operating system differ from a batch operating system? Generally, time sharing system allowed multiple processes to run simultaneously, where in batch operating system it goes batch wise. Which of the following process state diagram for a uniprocess system? So here we can say 4 and 6 are the states that are invalid in the uniprocessor system. Consider the following statements about the process state and state transition for a uniprocessor system and say which are true. A process state from new to ready when it admitted to a system by the long-term scheduler. Long-term scheduler schedules the new to ready states. So which is a true statement. Process state changes from running to waiting when it time slice expire. This is the false statement. Process state changes from waiting to running when an IO requirements complete. This is also a false statement. Only process is ready state can change into running state. This is the true statement. If a process is preempted, its state changes to ready. It is also a true statement. There can be several processes in the ready state, but only one in the running state. This is also the true statement. So this is the questions for this video. We again see another 15 questions in another video. Thank you.